Police. This man is stealing my tenants' vehicles. He's vandalizing private property and endangering the public. Send backup. Now I'm not safe. I stood there in the middle of the condo parking garage, arms crossed, watching Brenda, our building's self-appointed queen of everything, have an absolute meltdown as the tow trucks hooked up the last of her customers' cars. She was pacing back and forth, her face turning shades of red I didn't know existed. Phone glued to her ear like it was her lifeline. She was so convinced she was in the right, so utterly sure that her little empire of laminated signs and fake authority would protect her. But here's the kicker she never saw coming. Those receipts her drivers were waving around, they weren't just proof of her scam, they were the nails in her coffin. And as the cops pulled up, sirens blaring, she had no idea she was about to handcuff herself right in front of everyone. It's wild how the most entitled people build their thrones on sand, isn't it? One good wave, and it all comes crashing down. But to really grasp how this parking lot showdown turned into the most satisfying revenge of my life, we've got to rewind. Let me take you back to the beginning, step by step, because this wasn't just about a spot. It was about boundaries, bullies, and finally, standing up to someone who thought she owned the world. It all started about 2 years ago, when I finally scraped together enough for a down payment on my condo. I'm talking a modest 2-bedroom, in a mid-rise building, downtown, nothing fancy. But it came with that golden ticket, a deeded parking spot. Spot number 27, right there in black and white on my closing documents. In a city where street parking is a blood sport, that spot was worth its weight in gold. I'd circle the block for 20 minutes after work sometimes just to slide into it, feeling like I'd won the lottery. For the first few months, everything was fine. I'd park, wave at neighbors, head up to my unit. But then Brenda entered the picture. Brenda Wilkins, Unit 12, 3rd floor. She was in her late 50s, always dressed like she was heading to a board meeting. Blazer, pearls, the works even. If she was just checking the mail, she had this air about her, like she was the mayor of our 40-unit building. Turns out, she kind of was, at least in her own mind. I first met her at a building meeting. Our actual condo association was pretty laid back, just for maintenance, occasional votes on paint colors. But Brenda, she volunteered for every committee, and somehow, she'd wormed her way into being the parking liaison. No one knew what that meant, but she made business cards for it. Laminated, of course. One evening, I came home late from work, pulled into spot number 27, and there was a note on my windshield, reserved for premium access. Move immediately or face fines. Parking committee. I crumpled it up, thinking it was a joke, but the next day, my car was gone. Towed $250 to get it back from the impound lot. I was furious. I stormed up to the association office, really, just a bulletin board in the lobby, and demanded answers. That's when Brenda appeared, clipboard in hand, smiling that fake sweet smile. Oh, you must be the new owner in 8B. I'm Brenda, parking chair. Spot 27 is part of our overflow program now. We rent it out to rideshare drivers during peak hours, keeps the garage secure, and brings in extra funds for the building. I blinked. Funds? What funds? And it's my spot deeded to me. She waved her hand dismissively. Oh, honey, deeds are so outdated. We voted on this last year. It's for the greater good. If you need it back, just pay the $50 relocation fee, and I'll prioritize you. I checked the meeting minutes later. No such vote. But Brenda had already rented it out. I started noticing unfamiliar cars, Derubas, lifts, delivery vans. Drivers would pull in, flash a laminated pass that looked suspiciously like Brenda's handiwork, and parked for hours. At first, I tried reasoning. I emailed the real association president, a nice guy named Tom, who worked in it and hated conflict. He said, Brenda's single quote Seth ... enthusiastic. We'll look into it. But nothing happened. Neighbors whispered warnings. Don't cross Brenda. She got Mr. Patel's balcony fined for non-compliant planters until he moved out. I decided to document everything. I installed a cheap dashcam in my car when I could park nearby, and a small security camera overlooking the garage from my balcony. It wasn't fancy, but it captured the basics. Over the next few weeks, the footage piled up. Brenda meeting drivers at the gate, handing out key fobs. Wait, key fobs. Our garage used electronic access tied to owner codes. How did she get extras? She'd collect cash or Venmo payments right there. $200 a month per spot. She'd say, prime location, 24/7 access, no questions asked. She wasn't just renting my spot. She had 6 others. Spots belonging to absentee owners or folks too scared to fight. I calculated $200 times 6 spots times 12 months. Over $14,000 a year. Tax-free, straight into her pocket. I confronted her once, calmly, in the lobby. Brenda, this is illegal. Those spots are private property. She laughed. Actually laughed. Illegal. I'm keeping this building safe from riffraff. Without me, it'd be chaos. If you don't like it, move. Oh, and here's your first fine for unauthorized surveillance. She slapped a $100 violation notice on me, complete with her signature. That's when I knew. This wasn't about parking. This was war. Brenda was a bully, plain and simple, using fake authority to line her pockets and control everyone. I lawyered up quietly. My cousin's a paralegal, and she helped me dig. We pulled the condo bylaws. No parking committee, no rental allowances. We checked county records. No business license for garage management. And those key fobs, stolen from the maintenance supply, reprogrammed. But I needed proof she was profiting. Enter the camera upgrade. I splurged on a hidden 4K model with audio, disguised as a light fixture, installed it one night when Brenda was out. Jackpot. 2 days later, Brenda on tape, chatting with a driver. Yeah, $200 cash or app. Spot 27s, the best owners. A pushover. Never home. I cleared $1,200 last month alone. These gig workers pay anything for convenience. Boom, confession. But I waited. I wanted the kill shot. I let her dig deeper. Weeks turned to months. She towed me twice more $500 down the drain. She started a building newsletter, her own invention, blasting problem residents who disrupt harmony. Subtle digs at me. Neighbors started avoiding me. 1. An older lady in 4A slipped me a note. She did this to my spot too. Paid her off to stop the fines. Be careful. I gathered allies quietly. Talked to Tom. Showed him snippets. He was shocked but spineless. We need evidence for the board. Fine. I'd get it. The opportunity came on a busy Friday night. Rideshare surged. 12 cars crammed into her spots, including mine. Drivers milling about, chatting. I called my buddy who owns a tow company. Emergency job. 12 vehicles. Unauthorized parking. I've got proof. He sent 3 trucks. We coordinated. I'd distract. They'd hook. I went down. Phone recording. Excuse me, folks, this is private property. You've been misled. Chaos. Drivers yelling. We paid Brenda. Here's the receipt. Perfect. Printed emails, Venmo screenshots, parking rental, $200 por metro. Brenda Wilkins. Brenda burst in minutes later, summoned by a frantic call. What is this? Stop. These are my tenants. Your tenants, I said, loud for the camera. On my deeded spot, she sneered. You're done, kid, harassing paying members. I'm calling the cops. And she did. Police. This man is stealing vehicles. He's dangerous. I smiled. Later, officers Chen and Ramirez arrived. Lights flashing. Brenda threw herself at them. Officers, thank God. Arrest him, he's towing association property. Chen, a known-and-sense vet, surveyed the scene. Toes paused. Drivers fuming. Me calm with a folder. Ma'am, explain, Chen said. Brenda puffed up. I'm parking chair. These drivers pay maintenance fees for secure spots. He's trespassing. Chen turned to a driver. Fee or rental? Rental, the guy said, handing over a receipt. $200 to Brenda for spot 27. Chen looked at me. I handed my deed bylaws, camera footage transcript, and a USB of the audio. Officer, she's not on the board. Removed years ago for irregularities. This is fraud. Ramirez radioed in. Check on Brenda Wilkins, any warrants? Brenda Blanche, this is a mistake. I'm protecting the building, but the radio crackled. Active complaint for theft, forgery, bring her in. Turns out, my quiet reports to the board had triggered an audit. Missing funds, fake fines, pocketed, over $47,000 traced to her accounts. Cuffs clicked. Brenda shrieked. You can't. I built this system. As they led her away, drivers cheered. One said, sue her ass. The fallout, epic. Board dissolved her committee. I got my spot back, plus reimbursements. Drivers filed small claims, one big. Brenda, probation, restitution, banned from the building. She sold her unit, moved to a walk-up suburb. Now, the garage is peaceful. I park in number 27. No notes, no drama. But here's the lesson. Entitled folks like Brenda thrive on silence. Speak up, document, fight smart. So, tell me in the comments, ever had a parking nightmare? Dealt with a fake authority? What would you do? Smash like if this fired you up. Subscribe for more real-life revenges. Stay vigilant, folks. Your spot's worth fighting for. Thanks for watching.